Hey guys, Ken's 97 Stowe 171. Well, um, doing a American Truck Simulator video here, and a little bit of a special one. Um, got word this past week, that Kenworth is discontinuing the W900 semi truck. Um, it's been in production since 1961. It's in its third generation currently, and hugely customizable truck. It's extremely well recognized. Anybody that's ever seen Smokey and the Bandit, the movie there with Burt Reynolds, that's the truck that was in the movie. It's been in countless other films. Um, so I decided to build one. This is not really the kind of truck I would want to actually drive, like in real life, only because I've driven trucks a little bit like this that have a pretty narrow cab. The driving area is pretty narrow, relative to the sleeper and relative to the truck width. And I think they look absolutely fantastic. I know from people that have talked to me that they ride really nice because they got a long wheelbase, um, and they're certainly beloved by many drivers. The thing for me, that I didn't like about it was basically the visibility, particularly when backing up. I'll show you here in a second. I'll show you the truck that I built. Um, the one I put together, I put a Caterpillar. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what engine it had in it, but it's the most powerful Caterpillar I could put in it. Like 768 horsepower, 18-speed transmission with a retarder. Um, did a pretty cool paint job, I think. I don't love it. It's a little darker than I would care for, but it was the coolest one I could find that I kind of liked. Put some chrome rims on it, some nice tires. Uh, did the trailer to match. The reason I have this view here is because I'm trying to hide the truck from the external view here. Um, Interestingly, I drove it a little bit on the way to this pickup location, and other than visibility out the sides, which is terrible, like looking backwards, you really can't see. I couldn't see the trailer at all in the mirrors because the cabin is so narrow relative to the truck. Um, we'll see with the cargo on the trailer now. Maybe I'll be able to see the cargo in the mirrors. That always was one of the things I didn't like about trucks of this style is just looking in the mirror behind you. Your visibility is not that great. The view out the front is super cool, and actually, it's easy to track center down the lane. I'll show you that in a second too. Um, it's easy to find the lane center based on the hood, or not the hood ornament, but the hood. There's a little bump on the center of the hood. It's pretty easy to drive down the road, but you definitely got to take your time in maneuvers. Probably not a bad thing that it makes you kind of drive slow when you're backing up and when you're moving around because can't really see what the hell's going on around you that well relative to like the Cascadia. Um, I'm sure you would get used to it, and there's probably plenty of things that are really positive about it that I never experienced personally as a truck driver. The other thing that I kind of it's certainly cool, and I like the nostalgic factor of it. And I'll show you when I get to the interior. But there's like 10,000 little gauges on the inside of the truck, which is kind of cool. Um, but the reality is, you don't really need to see what is my rear axle temperature. Unless if you're a heavy haul operator where you're doing like really heavy stuff, you probably do need to know that. Um, for an average daily driver truck, you don't need to know that shit. Um, you just really don't. Or what I'd like is a digital display that would pop up and say, "Yo, rear axle temperature is high. Just tell me when there's a problem," rather than me having to scan 50 gauges. There's plenty of other things I got to pay attention to besides that. Maybe it's just me. I like how they look. I like how the interior looks. Like I said, I enjoy the nostalgia factor. I just don't think I'd want to drive one as my daily driver. Um, Maybe if I did a bunch of really long haul stuff where I wasn't actually doing that much backing up into docks and stuff, maybe it would be different. And I know a lot of guys do use them for that kind of stuff. Um, but if I had to go into like 20 docks a day, I would not want one of these unless maybe a cab over, maybe a day cab version. I ought to build one of those and try it. Maybe that would make a big difference. Um, anyway, let's get to it. Let me show you the truck. Enough about me yapping. I'll show you the truck. It's a beautiful rig. We're hauling a space container. This is a long trip. We're going to go all the way to Texas, to Dallas, I believe, from Bakersfield, California. It's not that heavy, um, but here's the rig that I built. And I kind of liked I picked the sunset paint scheme. I thought that was kind of cool and nostalgic. Put some cool chrome wheels on it. Um, picked it's a Kenworth 100th anniversary um, labeling there. It's got the red frame. That's part of the 100th anniversary. Did a few chrome things. Um, not too many. Good looking rig for sure. Classic American long haul truck. Got the big stacks. I didn't configure that. That's how it came. Um, Let me just give you an example here. Is one of the things, like if you look at how narrow the driving area is relative to the truck, you've got all that area. And I'll go inside here and show you. Um, so when you're driving the truck, this is actually kind of a perfect, see the little bump on the hood? I've found if you put that right to the right side of the lane marker, you're kind of perfectly in the lane. Um, but in the mirror, like I can't see the trailer in any of those mirrors. It's behind me, and it's because my driving area is so narrow. And when you turn around and look behind you, what you see is exhaust pipe. I Looking behind me, I cannot see that trailer, and that's how it is in real life too. The cab is so narrow, and the exhaust pipes are so wide there, I can't see the trailer behind me when I look behind, even when I turn my head around. You actually got to like stick your head out the window to see the trailer. Don't like that. Um, Same thing over there. This one doesn't even have that many gauges in it. Um, it's got, 8 over there, the two big ones, and 4 over there. Some of these, there's like 20,000 gauges. That whole dash is covered in gauges. Um, so that's the only thing I really don't like. The view out, is the visibility is not that great. In real life, you would have hood mirrors looking in front of you there. I don't do that in the game because, quite frankly, it's just extra CPU clocks, GPU clocks, and doesn't really add anything to the game. In real life, you would want those hood mirrors so you can see, off in front of you there. There is a mirror over there to look down. I really ought to bend that out. But again, in the game, doesn't really matter. You would want that side mirror aimed out a bit more so you can see beside yourself a bit more. Do you have the little window there to see if there's a car right there? But yeah, other than visibility, I think it's a super cool looking truck. All right, enough bullshitting. Um, I think that's all we need to do. Let me get that mirror back, and we're gonna try to do it real life here. Well, like I normally do. Let's go back to that view. Let me get my navigation thing back, and we will be on our way. Um, Engine sounds great. Um, why am I? Oh, because I'm in reverse. Put the engine brake on, take the parking brake off, and we'll be on our way. This is not that heavy.
Turn left.
Oh shit. Give me a second. I wanted to see what is our. So it's only 26,000 pounds space container. It's not heavy. Okay, that's what I thought. I was thinking about buying something, finding something that was heavy to haul. Oh, green light. See, there I can see my trailer. You know, maybe you would just learn where it is. You would just know, given enough time. Not really sure. Just not my thing. Kind of a tech guy, you know, and um, I like things that are a bit more practical. But it is an absolutely gorgeous truck. I know I'm going to get some hate in the comments if anybody's even watching or commenting, which doesn't seem to be the case. By the way, like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. We had a long drive here, so I'm probably going to break this up again like I did on the other long trips. Um, got some computer upgrades coming. I've got a 24 terabyte drive on the way. It'll be here today, along with an M.2. Next step is probably going to be a CPU upgrade. Want to look into that a little bit before I pull the trigger. I want to double check um, compatibility with this motherboard. It's an AM4 socket. Pretty sure.
Go straight on.
Pretty sure any AM4 socket will work. What are you doing? That car just stopped right there on the road.
Keep right, and then exit right.
This is not a World of Trucks external market delivery. I decided, given this truck and that I'm going to be going across Texas, I want to be able to go, appropriate speed limit and not sit here and go super slow the whole way. Engine sounds amazing. Big old Caterpillar.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Engine
Turn
brakes.
right.
Engine brake sounds great too.
Keep left, and then turn left.
Um, One other little gripe about trucks, like, not like trucks like this, any truck.
Turn left.
The engine in this sounds amazing. I love a big diesel engine sound. All right, what are you doing? Go. What the fuck are you waiting on? However, big, loud, straight pipe stacks, but love how that sounds. Big turbo sound. That's amazing. It sounds fantastic. Would I want to listen to it for 12 hours, 14 hours a day? No, I would not. Sorry. Um, it would get old, I think. Um, quite frankly, I kind of preferred the trucks that were quieter. Um, maybe they get loud when you're at full throttle, going up a hill or something like that. But I would not want to listen to a big loud truck 11 hours a day.
Go
I like
straight on.
I like my hearing. Like my music. Don't want to be deaf. It goes for cars, by the way, too. Love a big V8. Love how they sound. It's amazing. Don't want a loud car 24 hours a day. I do think this truck would be easier to drive in real life versus the game, uh, which is one of the reasons, as I've said before, that's why I like that Cascadia with the
Go
digital
straight on.
mirrors. Is in game it's easier to drive because I did fix this so that I can move the mouse around and look around and then hit the front mouse button and go back to the center. That'll help me Um, I don't know why I hadn't thought of that previously, but I hadn't. You know,
Go
so
straight
if
on.
I'm driving and I want to look left, look right, and then go back to center, I can click that button and do that.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
God, why did he? They just did a game update, and I swear to God, the AI. I mean, I just God, I can't wait to get on the open interstate and get the hell out
Go
of here.
straight on.
Yeah, probably my most favorite truck was a Volvo VN series. Um, Quiet, easy to drive, good visibility, great turning radius.
Go straight on.
Kind of why I'm attracted to the European
Keep left,
trucks.
and then turn left.
Um, we'll see though. I don't know. Maybe I'll drive this for a while and suddenly come to love it. Um, One thing that would help me too, like if the speedometer in the front there, again, this has to do with the game. You can't read that. You really can't tell the difference between 30 and 35 miles an hour at this distance with that speedo. Give me a big digital display right there with the speed and like the basic informations would make this a lot better. In the game, I have the speed right over there in the little window. In real life, you wouldn't, and you're staring at a tiny little number for your speed. Um, or put it up in the little digital display. I looked. There's no setting to get the speed up there. So that's my nitpicking.
Turn left.
Yeah, I blew the light. Yes, I know. You know, one thing I just kind of noticed coming down that on ramp. Um, this truck's kind of slow. I'll tell you what. Let's back down the speed a little bit. Until we get onto some more open highway. Um, yeah, I just thought about that coming down that on ramp. It was kind of a downward ramp, and considering this is not a heavy load, a little slow coming down the ramp there. I don't know why this truck would be heavier than any other truck. Could be because it was a light load. It's a light load. It's not giving me full power. Don't know. I've never used this engine before, I don't think. Um, so it could be, and I don't know if this engine came in the engine pack. It could be a mod engine, in which case the power output could be incorrect. It could be labeled incorrectly. Hello, Mr. Police Officer. So yeah, it seems like if you keep that hood ornament, hood handle thing, basically right there on the right line, you're basically almost perfectly centered in the lane. That's kind of handy. Having visual representations like that for where your position is in the lane is super handy, actually. I've driven trucks where it was very difficult to uh, get yourself centered in the lane. Well, not very difficult, but just more difficult because there wasn't any reference point. And I have to take a sleep break here in a while, sooner than I was expecting. It's because I drove about 50 miles um, to the pickup location, and I don't know how many hours I'd been awake at that point. I did a bunch of stuff going from different location to location. I had to get the truck purchased, moved, use the truck, then find my trailer again because the trailer when you dismiss the truck and go to a new truck, the trailer you have just randomly goes somewhere. I haven't yet figured out why that happens or where it went. So um, I was pretty certain the trailer I used last time was yellow, and then I couldn't find a yellow trailer anywhere in my list that was unused. So I think I may have dismissed the trailer and immediately driver grabbed it. I'm not really sure. That's why I always pick a weird color for my trailers, so that they're easy to pick out in the for my personal trailer. So it's easy to pick out in the list. You know, this one I put some custom rims on it, so I'll be able to tell. It's got some bright chrome rims, and I did repaint it to a more appropriate color to match this truck. When I'm done with that, I may repaint it bright yellow, so it's or green or I had one that was for a while. I had a bright green trailer again, just so it's easy for me to find it. Also, in real life, it's easy. You get a bright green trailer. It's easy to see the trailer behind you in the dark or at dusk, which can be handy. That was interesting. The mirrors went dark right there. It's done that before. I don't know whether I went under a cloud or what. Let's see if it does it again when I go under this overpass. See if yeah, that's what it was.
Keep right.
While I'm in the trailer here, give me a second. Let me see something real quick. Thought I did this. I did not. This is different. This interface for adjusting the mirrors. I want that down. Out doesn't really help me. Let me try in. Okay, so there's the edge of the trailer. I didn't have the trailer before when I adjusted this. That may help me out here. It's something you see a lot with mirrors is like, I don't need to be looking at the sky over there. See that mirror over there? You really want it down. Looking up at looking at the sky doesn't tell you anything. And then maybe bring it in. Normally I have to bring them outward, but maybe that'll help. I can just see the edge of the trailer there. Down, out. Okay. And then this side one. See, like that's the step of the truck. That doesn't tell you anything. I don't need to look at the step. You want to see just the edge. What you want to see is what's next to you, like right there. That's what you want. The one thing that's annoying with this game too is like, um, no, I think this mirror over here did follow the adjustment I just did to the mirrors. Let me I might need to be a little bit more out. Just see the edge of the truck. Let's see. Yeah, I think it did. I think this did follow the adjustment for the physical mirrors. Okay. Wasn't sure, guys. Oh, this is the UI mirrors. That just makes them come and go. Um, Not sure in the past whether the UI mirrors followed the physical mirror adjustment. I don't know. Oh well, that's better. Now I can see the trailer behind me. That's definitely better. I've almost never had that happen though with the mirrors. Almost always have to adjust them outward. Actually, those both can go out a bit more. And this one can go out a bit more too. That right one, I want to be able to, that's not bad. Let me do it a little bit more. In like when I'm looking right there, I really can't see the edge of the trailer, but that's better in the UI mirror. That looks better. The one on the left there looks okay too. All right. Now I can see better. Seeing better is good. Helps when you can see. The other thing that might help would be seat position. Yeah, that might be better too. See over the hood a little bit more. Seen a few videos online where the guy's sitting on the floor and he's can barely see over the hood. You know, like dude, put your seat up a little bit. How far are we to get out of Cali? And we got a bit get to there. Okay. Be interesting if I get to the end of this video and I'm totally converted to driving this. Like I said, it is a beautiful view out. I actually kind of like the looking at the hood. Um, a good example of a truck that's a pain in the ass to get centered is that the Kenworth K100, that bright yellow one that's a cab over design. That one, it's just a window, and there's no there's no reference point at all to where you're if you're centered or not. Um, it's obvious. There is one. I found it, but the little air vent sticking out of the dash is actually that you can use that as a reference point, but it's not really directly in your field of view like that hood handle right there. A couple things I'll try. I'm going to try a different engine in this truck. Um, I don't remember what the default engine option was. Probably a Packard, which owns Kenworth and Peterbilt. Um, I think Scania. No, not Scania. Iveco. Iveco. I think Packard is involved with them too. I was watching Electric Trucker on YouTube. By the way, he's got a great YouTube channel. Check him out. He's in Germany. Makes some great videos driving electric trucks in Europe. He's driven a Scania electric, I think a Volvo, and his daily, I think, is now in Iveco. And he was at the Iveco at some kind of a show, and they had a American Peterbilt or Kenworth, I don't remember which, just on display. And he mentioned that Packard owns part of Iveco, or Iveco owns part of Packard. I don't know. There was some kind of link, and he commented about how American trucks are so different. You know, they would never work in Europe. The sleeper area, the cab is just way too big. You'd never get it around corners. Oh, there's some rain. Is it P? No. L. Okay. Look how tiny the wiper blades are. It's kind of funny. Lights. Put on the brights. Will be hilarious if I drive this for a while. That's one of the reasons that I picked a long drive over on the interstates. I thought that'd be the best place to try out this truck. I've never driven one of this in American Truck Simulator. Driven the Peterbilt, but I've never driven one of these KWs, W900. There were several other trucks that got discontinued too. None of them were as old as of a design. Um, the C something. One of them was like an off-road logging truck kind of a thing, and there was another one too. Um, the YouTube channel, the Fast Lane Truck, did a video on the topic and went into a little detail. Kind of sad to see it go. Kenworth has sort of a modernized version of this truck. It's got a more of an aerodynamic nose. It's sort of reminiscent visually of the truck, with more modern powertrains. I guess it all comes down to fuel efficiency is what this is about, and operational costs are everything. they talked about like some of the new power, incompatibility with powertrains. I don't buy that shit. The engine area in this truck is big. It's long. It's right out in front. You could put any engine and transmission in this truck that you want. It would fit. So I think that's nonsense. I think it's more about they want to change the cab design for efficiency. PACCAR has some pretty interesting engines. I think that's what I'll do is find out what the default engine was for this truck, the PACCAR, whatever it was. And I think it was a Cummins is what it selected by default, but I'm not totally sure. I don't remember. I just went down the list and found the most powerful engine available, thinking that would be the coolest thing to put in the truck for the video. But again, it could be. I'll have to double check. It could be a mod engine, in which case it may not be realistic. The power output doesn't feel like 760 horsepower, given the weight we're pulling. So I'll try one of the other engines and see if maybe it drives better. No idea. I've got some modification engines that are just massive outputs. They're not really realistic. That 1,077 horsepower. It's an N14, custom N14, Cummins N14 engine. There's several versions of it. One's got air start, which is kind of cool. Different engines are available in different trucks, though. They're not all available in every truck. Why the fuck did that guy do that? Like he slowed down. Welcome to Arizona. Speed limit is 75. Yeah, there was a game change. See if it makes me go into the way station. Nope, I can bypass. Interesting. That hasn't happened in a while. Look at the beautiful Southwest. Just worked 14 hours driving around in the city, and doing this makes it. And then I come and I play a game where I got to drive. Speed limit 75, but this highway feels twisty enough. I don't know that I want to go much faster than 65. Let's try 70. See if that feels all right. New truck, unfamiliar to me, you know. Not really sure why, but there was a game update, Missouri dropped, so I now have Missouri. Um, there's a challenge going on too with Missouri to, I think it's 12 deliveries in or out of Missouri, and for something, I don't know, there's some kind of challenge. But then when I looked, there wasn't any, Missouri hadn't yet dropped when that challenge came out. And I looked and I couldn't find any, there was no cargo for Missouri because it didn't exist yet. So that was kind of weird. And then Missouri dropped the next day, so I'll have to look and see. It's a slow moving truck right there. Yeah, so there was a game update also, along with the Missouri dropping, and could just be me, but it feels like my steering wheel inputs are a little different. Like the weight of the force feedback is slightly altered. Now there's my first yawn. Let me get going straight here, and I will. Let me take a look at a map here and see where the next available sleep point is. Shit. Right there. We'll get fuel and sleep, I think. See if there's anything more convenient than that. I don't think so. I think it's going to be there. Off the highway, turn left. I think that'll be the easiest thing to maneuver. There's also, I could also go here, fuel right there, but this is actually not, this is going to be a truck plaza. And then could go up into here, but then I got to go up into this town to do that. There is one right here too. Could get off and turn there. But I think that's closer than we need. So let me set this in the GPS. Oh, it's 180 miles. That might be too far. Okay. That's a couple hours. Probably don't have that long. So I guess we're going to go here. There's fuel and there's a place to sleep. That's 43 miles. That'll work. Okay. All right, guys.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Go straight on.
Go straight on. Don't think this truck has radar cruise control or anything. Not really sure. Maybe it does. It's maintaining distance behind this guy. Definitely sad to see the old girl go away. I particularly like the design on the older versions of the W900. Smokey and the Bandit. They had the round headlights. They were really cool looking trucks. pretty much across their entire life. Be interesting to see if they. I'll have to look and see if that new Kenworth replacement truck is in ATS. I don't think it is. Um, but I'll take a look next time and see maybe the new version of this truck or the updated version, whatever it's called. They showed a picture of it in the Fast Lane truck video. But I don't know whether it was a truck that was in production already,
Keep right, and
or
then
if
exit
it's,
right.
or if it's the the new model that's going to come. I don't know.
Exit right. Turn left.
See, why does the AI truck do that? Take a look here, guys. I am not over the line. Why is he sitting there for no fucking reason? I am not over the line, blocking that intersection for that stupid truck, and I can't make that corner with him in the fucking way. The AI has been doing this a lot with the AI traffic, and he's turning left. So go. And I can't back up because there's a car right behind me. There's a car right there. And then he's going to go. And cut me off. And then pull forward even more. It's stupid. One of the reasons I used to turn traffic off completely was just stupid shit like that. I mean, I guess you could just get used to stopping way early. The problem is you need to pull up to be able to see without going to the external view. You got to be able to
Get ready to turn left.
is this the sleeping area? There's one over here. Where the fuck am I going? Okay, there's the fuel. That's probably the sleeping area right there to my left. Fuck off. I guess we'll sleep first. I'd like to go get fuel first. But let's wait for the daylight. And then we'll figure that out tomorrow. There. All right, guys. Daylight. I think the fuel area was over here. Oh, all right, guys. Let me pause. Let me stop the video, and we'll start again here in a minute. Ken's 97 Stowe signing off.